Well, hello there, Capricorn. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. I'm sorry I've been away for a couple of weeks. My daughter had a baby, and so I'm a new grandmother. And so I've just been relishing in the blessing of all of that. So it's so good to be back. I really missed you. Thank you for your patience as I was spending time with family. So today we are going to take a look at your mid-June general tarot reading. So this is good from now until about mid-July. We'll take a look at the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so let's get into this. Let's see what we have here. Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. And embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. Wow, beautiful energy. You know, I feel like you're coming to the end of a cycle. We have the new moon in Gemini coming up this weekend, and I'm going to put a special reading up for that. But I feel as if you're kind of, in a sense, emotionally, this is more emotionally than anything else, coming to the end of a cycle and understanding that a part of that cycle was learning, kind of embracing a little bit of the wisdom that you have learned along the way. And it's kind of like the school of hard knocks is what they're saying, the school of hard knocks. So Capricorn, I'm sending you lots of love and hugs if you're resonating with that energy. But there's kind of this sense of embracing the enthusiasm, knowing that you have graduated, that you are moving out of this cycle of hard knocks, of moving into a cycle of much more enthusiasm, joy, abundance, just kind of like embracing life in a much more, enthusiastic, exciting, kind of expansion of energy instead of that energy of feeling like life has just been tough. I'm looking at that wolf, and it's kind of like you may have felt like you're kind of having to, when I think of wolves, for some reason, I always think of like Alaska or, the very much of the northern areas, maybe even the Arctic Circle and stuff, where the energy, the environment is just so harsh, and it's kind of like, I feel like that is the type of energy you have been in for some time. Now, it's kind of interesting because Pluto was in your energy, the Capricorn energy, since 2008, and it recently transitioned into Aquarius back in March. But it's kind of wobbling back and forth between Capricorn and Aquarius, and from now until 2024. And I feel as if that's kind of the energy where that Pluto and Capricorn energy was in your first house of identity, kind of like going through the school of hard knocks to figure out, and on a very deep, emotionally, spiritually level, a spiritual level of understanding who you are and what you are here to do. It's kind of like you had to go through that experience in order to understand your core values, what you stand for, and what it is that you want to reflect as you move forward. Yes, this is beautiful energy. Wow, expect powerful change. Yeah, a time to give rather than take. I feel like it's not that you haven't been giving all along, Capricorn. I think you've been giving a lot of yourself, right? But there's this energy of giving, kind of like this sense of hope to other people, because maybe for a long time you didn't really have a sense of hope for yourself, of what was going to of what your future was going to look like, because as soon as you kind of got up from one situation, there was another situation that brought you down. And because of that, like this feeling of tower after tower, right? What you have learned, okay, the knowledge that you are now turning into wisdom, what you have learned through all of that experience is that even when things were difficult, if you could keep a positive, grateful type of attitude, you moved through that energy so much more quickly than if you allowed yourself to just kind of wallow in it, right? I mean, there's this energy of, and they're saying to me, tomorrow is another day. The song that Annie sings, right? In the movie Annie, tomorrow is another day, just kind of that tomorrow, I can't, you're only a day away is what she says, right? It's kind of like, okay, it could be a little bit of that. What you realized was to get through difficult times, if you could almost keep, even if you didn't truly feel it, if you could kind of keep your energy positive, you reflected on your negative talk and turned it into positive thinking, right? You took positive action on the things that you could control in your life. There were perhaps a lot of things you couldn't control, but the things that you could control, you put your power into those in order to build your confidence in yourself, to be able to trust yourself about moving forward. Yes. This is very much, look, on the bottom, you have the 9 of Wands and the 8 of Cups. It's been this very long. This is the wounded warrior. It's taken a very long time to move towards this, understanding that you really had to go through this transition of moving away from things that were no longer meant for you. It may have taken a lot for you to move away from things that no longer were meant for you. Relationships, situations, jobs, careers, places that you live that you had kind of that had expired. They were no longer meant for you. And it could have been that you almost had to have those tower moments to rip you away from those, but now you're understanding, wait a minute, instead of waiting for those powerful changes to occur to me, I'm stepping back into my power. I'm no longer going to wait for things to crumble around me. Instead, the thing that I have learned is that I can turn things around when I have this positive attitude, when I step into my power. When we have the negative energy around us, right? And it's so easy to get into when we have one tower after another. But being in that negative energy only brings more negative energy to us. We attract what we are. So if we're wallowing, if we're having that self-pity, if we're not stepping into our power, then we continue to bring in situations that do not allow us to step into our power. I think this was really difficult for you, Capricorn, because you had to, it's not that you're not a powerful person, but I think you were allowing, with the 7 of Swords, you have the 7 of Swords. I knew I saw the 7 of Swords. This is your obstacle. Allowing yourself to sabotage your own happiness because you allow the negative energies to take over. So your wisdom that you have learned through this, if you think back from 2008, when you were in a situation where you felt like you didn't have control of the situation, the ones that turned out to be the most positive moves for you were probably those times where you stepped into your power. You spoke your truth, right? You took action on what you knew was right for you. The things that maybe didn't work out to your best of benefit, because you were at the school of hard knocks, right? Were those things where you didn't take action. You allowed a negative energy to stay in that situation for one reason or another, right? You may have felt like you had no choice, but you allowed your thinking, to tell you that you had no choice, that you had no power. There's the difference, is that when we're in a situation where we feel like maybe our power has been taken away, like for instance, right? I'll share. I live in a townhome, and my next door neighbor had a dog that was elderly and would bark for hours, for hours on end while she was at work, right? And I was trying to work through that situation. I felt like I had no power in the situation, right? Because she was emotional about the dog, and she didn't hear the dog barking because she was at work, right? And so I felt a little bit like my power was being taken over because I didn't want to. She's a very nice woman. I didn't want to step into that energy of being aggressive about the situation or anything. I was coming at it from this very loving position, right? But when I finally was, this is affecting my life because I am in my home, like all day long, I had to step back into my power. And when I did, I did it in a loving way, but I stepped into my power and the situation changed, right? And I feel like that's kind of the way that you may have been approaching some situation in your life, not truly taking action. Like, for instance, I found myself like complaining either to myself or to Maggie, my dog or whatever, about the dog next door because it was really bothering me. But was I really doing anything about it? No, I wasn't stepping into my power. I was kind of like, meandering around the situation, trying to open that conversation with my neighbor. But when I finally got to the point, it was like, this is affecting my life, right? And I stepped into my power and had a truthful conversation with her. Things changed, okay? And I feel like that's how you are starting to look at your life in general, in different arenas of your life, understanding that, yes, when I allow somebody to take my power, right, then the thing is that I think you've been feeling resentful. There's this energy of feeling resentful, but the thing is that your energy of being resentful is negative. It's a negative energy. So all you're attracting in is more situations that will make you feel resentful. To counteract that, it's about embracing enthusiasm. I do have power in this situation. I can have those difficult conversations. I can make changes in my life. It is about stepping into, there are some things we cannot control, but what can I control? I can control how I react to something. I can control how and when I communicate my needs and wants to other people. It's about understanding that you want to be in a more positive energy. And to be in a more positive energy, there is something about taking back your own power. Planning and action. And the problem is that you've been reacting out of a negative mindset, right? And now it's kind of like, no, I'm going to plan and act based on this energy of enthusiasm, of what it is that you want to create for yourself in your life. I feel like for some of you, there is this energy of not trusting, right? Of not trusting other people because of the school of hard knocks, right? But when we don't trust other people, it really stems from the fact that we don't trust ourselves to make the right decisions. So we don't want to trust other people either. That way we have no power because we don't trust ourselves and we don't trust others. You're stepping into an energy of, I can't do this by myself, right? You're not an island, Capricorn. You're not an island. So it's understanding, what assistance do I need? Is that assistance from friends, from family, from professionals, financial advisors, medical, if you're concerned about your health or something like that, what help do I need? And trusting yourself to choose the right people to help you. This brings in this sense of enthusiasm because you don't have to do it alone. I feel like you're the lone wolf. You have been feeling like a lone wolf. And now wait a minute, I don't have to do this by myself. There are people in my life that are wanting me to be the highest version of myself, including yourself, starting with yourself. So let's take a look at the tarot. Yeah, you have the Ace of Wands, a fresh start. It's the beginning of a new cycle. Adjustments are required and you have kindred partnership. It's your energy around your partnerships. Okay, it's your energy around your relationships that need a fresh start. It is coming back to that sense that you feel as though, because of past experiences, that people are going to, it's almost like you're expecting the worst out of them. You're expecting people to disappoint you. And so what do? They disappoint you. It's about changing it, embracing this enthusiasm and expecting the best of people in a positive way, not over expectation, and expecting, kind of having this energy of, I'm also going to show up in my best version, my highest version of myself. Beautiful energy. Yes. So it really is. You've been confused because your heart was broken, This trust, this energy of trust was broken for you. And it's been a very long road of kind of coming back from that, of feeling very alone. But look you have the King of Cups, the Tower, and the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom. Wow, with the Strength card, having the strength and the courage to see the epiphany in this situation of understanding when you bring love into everything that you do, right? You embrace this enthusiasm. You raise your vibration. You look at the positive in the things around you, even if they're the things that you can't control. And when you do that, you're stepping more into your power. That's really hard. I know it is. Because you have the Ten of Pentacles, knowing that this is a way of life. This is the way that life works for you instead of against you. Yeah, stepping into your courage to embrace this, because I feel like part of it is that it's hard to embrace it because it's almost been so long since you may have felt this super positive, enthusiastic energy. So you're kind of like having a hard time getting back into that positive energy. It's about embracing it, saying, okay, when those dark thoughts start coming up, I'm just stepping back into my power. You do have control over your thoughts. You do have control over that. There's a lot of things that you can't control, but you can control your mindset. And it does take some work. It does mean that, you might want to use affirmations. You might want to journal. You might want to sit and just list all the things that you are grateful for, stepping into that energy. I know recently I kind of went through one of those spells where I was just like, oh my goodness. It was just a lot of little things that were occurring in my life that kind of brought me into this energy of like a negative energy, right? A feeling of lack. I don't have enough. I'm not enough, whatever. And one of the things I recognized is, well, it's kind of like step back into your gratitude, right? Get that gratitude journal out. Well, every time a difficult, thought or feeling comes up, turn it around right then and there. Make it into a gratitude instead of a negative. Wow, really powerful energy. It will really change your whole vibration. Also try turning on music, dancing to music, doing something that you really and truly love, but moving your body, okay, in any way, whether it's through exercise, taking a walk in the woods, dancing to music that you enjoy will raise your vibration and help you to embrace life in a much more enthusiastic way. Yeah, because you're self-sabotaging the steps that you would like to take. I feel like you have this dream, this goal that you're kind of trying to move towards. But the thing that is preventing you from doing that is allowing these energies to just kind of reappear. And when they reappear, you're allowing them to stay instead of, it's almost like, if you don't have like sage or something like that, crystals around, really kind of think about how can I cleanse these negative energies away from me? I love cleansing with sage or, just kind of like, even, I'll speak to the room and say, negative energies, you are banished from here, no more. Bring in the good, and I'll just call on my spirit guides and angels at times, to say, please bring me the sense of positive energy, and really then embrace it, get back into your heart space, because I feel like when you're in the negative, it's because you're in your head and not in your heart. Yeah, and hold on to your vision. I feel like you're kind of, it's almost like you feel as if your vision could never become true. Well, if you feel like it's never going to become true, guess what, Capricorn? That's what you're going to manifest. You'll manifest, yeah, and there you are. Yeah, but you're holding on to this sense. I mean, your energy is showing up here, but you're also manifesting from the sense of burdens. That is a negative mindset. And it's kind of like, when you are manifesting in order to get out of a burden, okay? So you're manifesting from the sense of burdens. So whether it is a financial burden, a health burden, a relationship burden, what you're trying to do is manifest from this point of, I want to escape this burden. Okay, but that is escapism, right? That is not, oh, what does my heart desire? You're focusing on, my heart desires to get away from this burden, instead of, my heart is longing, okay, to travel to this region, right? Or to move to this city, or to have a love relationship, a new job, a new career. Whatever it is. Instead, it's kind of like, yeah, I just want to get out of this job. I just want to get away from this person, right? When you're manifesting from that, you're only going to attract in, things that aren't really in alignment with who you are and what you truly want, because all you're trying to do is escape a certain situation. It's about turning it around and not focusing on what you're trying to escape, but what it is that your heart is truly desiring. And then look at the loving woman underneath there, peace. What does your future? What is it that you truly want in your future? And and please don't say, I just want to get out of this situation, right? It's about, okay, you want out of this situation, but where is it that you want to go? It's almost as if, like, say you live with someone in your home and you have an argument and you're just like, I'm out of here. I got to get out of here for a while. And you get in the car and you just go. Okay, well, you left the burden behind. Okay, you may be planning on returning, but you left the burden at least temporarily. But where did you go? You just drove around. You had no destination. That's the problem, is that you don't really have a destination. You haven't allowed your heart to sing, to sit into this energy of what it is that you want to create. Yeah, really incredible, because I think that we can all kind of relate to the energy of wanting to escape, right? I mean, that could be the reason why we spend time on social media or binge watching movies or TV shows or, whatever. It's kind of like we all have our little sense of escapism, right? But I feel like you've allowed the escapism to almost like come to be part of your plan and action, right? It's part of your plan, instead of turning it around and saying, what is it that I really and truly want? Yeah, this is interesting, because you have the Justice and the Eight of Swords, understanding that you're trying to bring balance into your life, but you're having a hard time bringing balance into your life because you doubt that you can bring the balance into your life. It's about stepping into this energy of, you know what? I've survived the school of hard knocks. I have the power to create whatever it is that I want. Expect powerful changes and make those changes occur in your life. Take those first steps. Don't sabotage yourself, right? It's about taking those first steps. The first step might be making a vision board, Maybe it's about just taking out a pad of paper and writing down all of the experiences that you would still like to have while you're here at Earth School, right? Putting your focus on what your heart is wanting to do, to experience, to have. Making a list, making a vision board, getting really kind of excited about it. Maybe picking out a theme song for your future, right? It's kind of like putting your focus on what you want to create instead of what you want to escape. So let's take a look at your advice. Yes, the things that you want start coming to you when you come at it from a sense of love. The Knight of Cups is expressing love and enthusiasm for the things that you want instead of the things that you're trying to escape, right? And a personal issue reaches resolution. Yeah, this is all within you. Understanding that our words create our reality. Your words, Capricorn, are creating your reality. It's about stepping into that energy of taking back. I'm really getting fired up here. Taking back your power, knowing that you are in charge of your life, right? You may not be in charge of every single aspect of your life, but you can take back your power and look at the situations in your life in a positive light. And understand, I'm working on changing this, right? If you're in a relationship that you want to leave, you might not be able to leave today, but you can start making positive steps moving forward as far as what it is. Where are you going? And of course, if it's an abusive relationship, please get yourself safe as soon as possible, right? Take those steps very quickly. But if it's just a relationship that has expired and you're looking to move towards something else, it's not about spending a lot of time lamenting about that person or how the relationship has kind of expired. It's about getting into the energy of what do I want? Where am I going? And then taking steps, stepping into your power and taking steps to move in that direction. Wow, really powerful. You know, Capricorn, actually, I feel as if, you know, with the Pluto and Capricorn energy kind of like waning, coming in and out for the rest of this year, I think that Pluto is about transformations. I think Pluto is really trying to help you to step back into your power of recognizing, okay, that you have gone through a lot of difficult situations, but the ones that have really worked out for you is when you were staying positive. You had positive thoughts, right? Positive affirmations. Go back to what you know how to do well. Use that positivity, that enthusiasm to help manifest the next stage that you're wanting to step into. Wow, beautiful energy. All right, well, let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And Capricorn, I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be very delighted and honored to do a reading for you. All right, so let's see what we have. From whom can I release my judgment right now? Yeah, when we're in this, we're judging, right? We're in that judgy energy. I don't like this about my life. I don't like that. That person annoys me. You know, oh, I can go there. I can go there so quickly, right? We all can. It's kind of like understanding that we, you know, this is our ego talking to us, comparing ourselves to other people and how their life is going. It's not a competition. It's not. It's about stepping into this energy of recognizing it's not about comparing what you have to what other people have. Instead, it's about stepping into this energy of, well, that's good for them. What is it I want for myself? And not choosing what we want based on what other people have, but based on what our heart truly desires. That has been a tough lesson for me to learn because we are conditioned, right? We are conditioned if we want to fit in, right? We're conditioned from a very young age about this competition, you know? even at school, who's got the best drawing, who wrote the best story, who's the smartest person, who got the best math grade, right? Where there's this sense of competing at a very young age. If you had siblings, right, you could have felt that competition between you and your siblings. This is an energy of understanding. Okay, I'm not falling into that. Instead, what I'm going to do is step into my own energy of what it is that I want to, not based on what other people have, but based on what I want for myself. That's that Pluto in Capricorn in your first house, right? What do you identify with? What is really important to you? And then it's not about defending it. It's about owning it. It's about stepping into that energy. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody, right? Because when we step into the energy of trying to explain ourselves to other people, then we're also kind of like feeling is in some point that we have to defend what we choose. Instead, it's just kind of like, yeah, this is me. I own it. This is who I am. And I'm proud to be who I am. Okay, so judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. Look at the person you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down and making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful energy here of understanding that, it just try to see when are you judging, right? Either yourself compared to other people or judging other people for what they're doing. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to put myself in this protective bubble, right? A bubble of love for some time and really just concentrate on me, concentrate on what it is that I want. It could mean that turning off social media for a while or not watching, TV or Netflix or whatever, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to put myself in a protective bubble and just spend time loving myself. Yeah, really interesting energy. I love that because I feel like it's a really good lesson for all of us. We all get there. And Capricorn, I think it's kind of because of Pluto. Pluto is trying to transform that energy of feeling like you're not enough or that you have to compete or whatever unworthiness that you may have. It's bringing it to the forefront, helping you to step into this energy of loving who you are, loving your life, taking your power back, and recognizing that you don't have to choose what other people choose or what other people want you to choose. It's about stepping into your power and no explanations, no complaints. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn. It was so good to see you. Thank you so much for all of your support. And I wish you much love and light in this situation and all your situations. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.